Republicans are struggling to find a viable way to attack Kamala Harris's new VP pick, Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota, and it's hilarious to watch. So JD Vance just held a rally in Philadelphia to try to steal attention away from Kamala Harris and Governor Walz, but it didn't work because JD Vance just came across as panicked and terrified of what Walz might bring to the table. So Vance gets asked about Walz multiple times, and he doesn't give straight answers. He calls him radical, and he just rambles on. Before I play this first clip, let's watch what Fox News was saying immediately after the announcement was made. I'm sure it's totally sensible, right?
Keep hammering on these guys. This idea of calling them out for who they are, shrink them. Is he a danger to society? Yes. Is he a danger to women's health? Yes. Is he a danger to world peace? Yes.
A danger to society.
I think the real danger to society, the real threats to democracy are Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, again, who support defunding the police. I heard a threat to women's health. As a woman, I think there's no greater threat to our health than leaders who support gender transition surgeries for young minors, who support putting tampons in men's bathrooms in public.
Tim Walz is just a chill football coach dude who wants kids to be able to have lunch so they can learn more. He is not some radical leftist. When he's talking about women having their health care stripped away, he's talking about Roe v. Wade, which you guys did. They did, the Republicans, obviously. When he talks about danger to society, he's talking about Donald Trump having 34 convictions, Donald Trump pressuring Brad Raffensperger and other officials, Donald Trump and John Eastman coming up with an unconstitutional theory that said that Mike Pence could unilaterally decide the election, and then pressuring Mike Pence on election day. And when Mike Pence didn't do it, Donald Trump sicked his supporters on Mike Pence. That is a danger to society and a danger to Mike Pence. Sorry, Mike Pence. But let's go on to this clip of JD Vance speaking in Philadelphia. He is asked by a reporter, do you have any common ground with Walz? Do you have anything? Let's see what he says.
And I'll take just a couple more here, and then we got to hit the road. Thank you all.
Senator, do you think you have any similarities with Walz? And you're both from the Midwest, and
Can you start that again?
Yeah, do you think you have any similarities? And you can talk about like common ground that you share with Walz.
Well, look, I mean, yeah, we're white guys from the Midwest. I guess there are similarities there. But what's different is the actual ideas about how best to serve people, white.
I have a challenge for you guys. I want you guys to comment in the most succinct way the difference between JD Vance and Tim Walz. I'll go first. I think JD Vance comes across as fake, as slimy, and I think Tim Walz comes across as warm and as genuine. I think JD Vance would stab you in the back if it means he can gain power, and I think Tim Walz would stop on a bad day and help you change your tire, even if he had the worst day in his life. That is the difference between these two. JD Vance wants to grab power. Tim Walz wants to start a top-down mission to help American citizens. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you leave a like on the video as well. Now here's JD Vance being asked about Josh Shapiro. Just watch this clip.
In the red, ma'am. And then behind you in the white shirt. Yeah.
She asked, are you relieved that it's Tim Walz and not Josh Shapiro? Sorry, it's quiet.
See him as an easier candidate?
Well, look, the only thing I'll say about Josh Shapiro is I genuinely, there's some fans out here.
So awkward.
I genuinely feel bad that for days, maybe even weeks, the guy actually had to run away from his Jewish heritage because of what the Democrats are saying about him. I think that's scandalous and disgraceful. Whatever you believe or whatever disagreements on policy you have about somebody, the fact that that race, the vice presidential race on the Democratic side, became so focused on his ethnicity, I think is absolutely disgraceful. In the red, man.
How come every time JD Vance and Donald Trump talk about Jewish Americans, it's like getting hit in the head with a hammer? There's like no subtlety or no respect. It's just like, you need to get a mental health check. You need to get your head checked if you're Jewish and you're voting blue. But Josh Shapiro wasn't hiding his ethnicity at all. I mean, he's openly Jewish. And yeah, JD Vance is just making stuff up. Here is him painting Tim Walz as some sort of radical. I love this clip, not because of what's being said, but just because it's so funny to watch them grasp at straws. They have absolutely nothing. I mean, Ben Shapiro, not Josh Shapiro, but Ben Shapiro, a right-wing pundit, posted a photo of Tim Walz helping some student and said, like, this looks like a homeless guy. Like, that is all you have. You're going to attack him because he had scruffy hair in a single photo. That is all they have. But watch this.
So first of all, the reason I didn't say a whole lot about Tim Walz is because the Democrats have showed a willingness to pull a little switcheroo on us. So I don't even know if we're actually going to get Tim Walz out of this campaign. And I think that a lot of us are asking ourselves, well, it's not going to be official until the Democrats actually nominate him, I guess, at their convention next week. So that's the first reason. The second reason is, look, Tim Walz's record is a joke. He's been one of the most far-left radicals in the entire United States government at any level. But I think that what Tim Walz's selection says is that Kamala Harris has bent the knee to the far left of her party, which is what she always does.
Can I just point out that what JD Vance is saying, as usual, is just statistically not true. Credit to my friend Micah Irfan, but he posted this chart that shows all of the bills Walz co-sponsored between 2013 to 2018 for 5 years. On the right, you can see the cluster of Republicans. You'd think that the far right Republicans would be people like Marjorie at the time, the farthest right, and the farthest left would be, say, a Bernie Sanders. They vote far left. Walz is right here, this little triangle. Walz is perfectly on the center left. He's just a center left progressive dude. He was a football coach. He served in our armed forces. He literally just wants kids to be able to eat lunch and have full tummies so they can learn throughout the day, as he said. He is a normal dude, and I'm sure Republicans are going to keep trying to grasp at anything they can to attack him. Here's JD Vance doing an awkward interview on the MAGA plane.
To take a battleground state tour the next couple of days.
Sure.
Former President Trump won't be making a public campaign appearance until Friday in Montana. Is that a missed opportunity?
No, look, I think I'm making a number of public appearances over the next few days just to drive home the fact that Kamala Harris's policy have been such a failure for normal Americans. I know the president's very busy over the next few days. One of the things you've got to do is, of course, get out there and speak to people and speak to reporters. A final thing that you have to do, of course, is raise the resources, and I know the president's very busy doing
So he gets asked why Donald Trump isn't going to be seen this week, why he's going to be absent from the campaign trail, and he's not giving a speech until Friday, and he gives a weak answer about divide and conquer. He does one thing while Trump does the other. But JD Vance just can't pull the same weight or create the same energy as Donald Trump can. As much as I hate him, listening to JD Vance speak is absolutely painful. Every time he opens his mouth, it's more and more awkward or just misogynistic.
And now we are where we are, and if you want to bring peace to that region, you need a negotiator who Vladimir Putin respects. Does anybody here, and obviously we're in a biased crowd, but does anybody here actually think that Vladimir Putin respects Kamala Harris? She's afraid of all of you. She sure as hell isn't going to be able to sit in an audience with Vladimir Putin and push for a reasonable peace. So we've got to have a person who understands diplomacy, who understands that America does have negotiating leverage.
Yeah, so Donald Trump understands diplomacy. I mean, he sat down at the National Association for Black Journalists, and within 2 minutes, he turned it into a complete show because of his lack of leadership, because of him melting down on stage, and because he can't handle the slightest bit of pushback. So yeah, I'll take the 59-year-old energetic woman who has years of experience in foreign policy, who was the VP, the DA, an attorney general, over the old dude who doesn't know anything about foreign policy and didn't know what NATO was until he took office. But either way, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. I love that you guys are here building this massive community with me as we head into one of the most high-stakes election in the history of America. So yeah, peace out, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.